It is being reported that Paolo Banchero is far from returning. As of December 16th, Banchero has surpassed the initial recovery timeline without a confirmed return date. We're going to talk about that, what that means for the Orlando Magic, as well as I haven't talked to you guys in about 8 days or so. Sorry, I've been gone, but let's go over what has also happened to the Orlando Magic during the time that Franz Wagner has been out with the same oblique injury that is pushing Paolo Banchero probably past Christmas. But first, guys, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Join the Magic Digest family here on YouTube. We're trying to build an Orlando Magic basketball community here, and we're well on our way, and we want to keep it pushing as the season goes on and as everything's been going pretty well, at least for the Orlando Magic's sake, despite all of the injuries. But let's get into what the initial report has been regarding Paolo Banchero's injury. He was not able to practice today, said head coach Jamahl Mosley. This was on Friday. He shared this with the Orlando Sentinel. He's doing the same ball handling, a little light movement on the floor, and we talked about that a handful of weeks ago. And then just trying to find ways to get cardio up without applying too much pressure. But again, he's just slowly moving his way to touching the court. Now, we have seen, especially over the weekend, him being out there on the court shooting, but we haven't really seen much else. Obviously, Banchero has expressed optimism and has shown that just through his willingness to be out there with the team and his traveling with the team. But the initial 4 to 6 week timeline looks to be a bit not conservative, but the opposite. It was almost too much, too soon. And unfortunately, it looks like Paolo Banchero, despite last time when we talked, I said it was going to be potentially Christmas, will probably not come back until the new year. And that definitely changes the outlook of the team and what we are kind of trying to do in the regular season and how we're trying to push some of these guys. Obviously, Paolo Banchero was the heartbeat of the team through the first handful of games in the season, but he hasn't played a game since October. And we're hoping that he can end up coming back as soon as possible. Obviously, everybody is hopeful on his return, but he's going to need medical clearance. And then we're going to have to see that he's going to be healthy enough to not risk a re-injury to the oblique. And obviously, this team and this organization is taking his return very slowly because Franz Wagner's going to be dealing with the same sort of recovery. So that's definitely going to have to be something that they end up watching and hopefully can make it better. All right, let's talk about what has been going on over the last handful of games. The Orlando Magic have actually been playing pretty good basketball, specifically Jalen Suggs. He has been one of the better players of the Orlando Magic and on the team, and we have seen that as he has taken a step up, and he is now averaging for the season 16 points per game, 4 boards, and 4 assists. He's been not shooting the rock extremely well, but he's been shooting a lot better than what we're used to. Now, this team is coming off of a loss against the New York Knicks last night, 100-91, and that does end the undefeated home streak that the Orlando Magic had this season and the undefeated streak that they had at home since last March, which is actually pretty amazing to think about. But unfortunately, Suggs had 9 points, 3 of 14 shooting, and there was a significant drop in his recent scoring surge that we had seen. But overall, Jalen Suggs has been playing really well. And in the community tab, if you guys go check that out, I asked, do you think that he could potentially sneak into the All-Star game? I'm talking about maybe as an alternate, and if somebody's injured and he takes over, maybe I could see it if he plays potentially a lot better in the Magic and stay afloat, sitting at 17-10 right now in the Eastern Conference. So hopefully for Jalen Suggs' All-Star case, we were going to need him to play and continue to play well and the team to stay atop those standings. Another player that has been playing extremely well and deserves, you guys know this, deserves the praise, Goga Bitadze, 9 points, 8 boards, almost 2 blocks a game, also averaging 2 assists a game, which is pretty great. He's been a force down low and has definitely solidified himself as that starting center, and there should be no question about it. He is the starting center on this team, and we are seeing him regularly put up great stat lines and amazing defensive numbers. Now, last night, 8 points, 11 boards against the New York Knicks. I almost felt like we were still overpowered in the paint down low, but it wasn't really his fault. I'm not blaming anything on Bitadze as far as the the paint goes, he's been playing extremely well. Also, Mo Wagner deserves some credit because he had a career high last night, 32 points. He is potentially sixth man of the year. And excuse me, the Magic are 17-11. I said 17-10 just a second ago. 17-11. They were 17-10 going into the next game. But Mo Wagner is potentially a sixth man of the year candidate because there's nobody more reliable on this Orlando Magic team. I would even say outside of the two main guys than Mo Wagner. I think he is probably the most valuable on the team currently because Jalen Suggs will have those shooting nights where he's not shooting extremely well. Tristan da Silva also deserves a little bit of love too. He's been stepping it up. He's playing a ton. I think this is more than even the organization had in mind, but he's still more reliable than those guys, and unfortunately, he's more reliable than KCP has been, and Cole Anthony seems to have taken a major step back. And also Anthony Black as well. Anthony Black was shot 1 of 7 last night. His shooting is clearly not there. It would be nice to have Cole Anthony, but we just don't. Jett Howard and Cole Anthony have kind of they didn't really play a ton down the stretch last night. It looked like Jamahl Mosley made a bit of an executive decision, say, if you're not helping us win right now, you're going to slide onto the bench. And we saw that in some of the minutes and everything. But that's my long-winded way of saying Mo Wagner is clearly the most reliable player, I think, that is healthy on this team right now. He was 10 of 15 from the field last night, 4 of 7 from 3, 32 points. Sixth man of the year candidate. Maybe that could be a future video coming out. He has been extremely valuable to this team. Wendell Carter Jr. did not play well in those 27 minutes. I could potentially see if they like a lineup with two bigs in there, Wagner and Pataze, but I think it works right now. The rotation is good. Also, Wagner got 26 minutes last night, which is just one less than Wendell Carter Jr. So at the end of the day, what would a move like that even mean for this team? What would it even do? Probably not too much of a difference anyway. And they seem to be stuck with this starting lineup for a while with Suggs, KCP, Pataze, Wendell Carter Jr., and Da Silva. They seem to like that, so I don't think they'll change it. Also, they're trying to get Jonathan Isaac into the rotation, as is a little bit. I could see his minutes going down because it looks like we got two seriously really good bigs, but it's just amazing that they're all healthy right now, which was a big talking point going in the year. But Mo Wagner, sixth man of the year candidate for sure. Jalen Suggs, 4 of 19 last night. As I mentioned, he only had 9 points, but he did have 8 assists, and I felt like he was finding a spark in other parts of the game. And that's really what makes Jalen Suggs so special and so great for this team, is that he can play some hard defense and can end up passing the ball a lot more efficiently and a lot better than he has shown in recent years. So that's been very positive. Overall, this Orlando Magic team, since last time we talked, has shown resilience. They beat a Suns team somehow, some way, and I think that caught the eye of a lot of people when after Franz Wagner was out. And they played the Milwaukee Bucks very hard. A healthy Milwaukee Bucks team now played them extremely hard on national TV in the NBA Cup quarterfinals, and they only lost by 5 points. I think that they put kind of the world on notice. Hey, look, that we're not the team that you guys saw in the previous Cup game against the Knicks. We're a lot more of a well-oiled machine, next man up kind of mentality, organization, and I think this team has shown it now. We'll have to see how this team fares over the next stretch of games, because obviously this is now 2 straight losses. Now, we can't take too many moral victories here. 2 straight losses. They got the Thunder, Heat, Celtics, Heat, and Knicks. We'll have to see how they end up faring until they get to the Nets to close out the year. But guys, let me know what you think of everything that's been going on with the team. Show some love and show some opinion in the community tab. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time with more Orlando Magic basketball content.